ओ खई के पान बनारस वाला
And it's good morning to you from the Sydney Cricket Ground on this, the third day of the fourth Test match, India versus Australia. And it's Thompson bowling to Viswanath. It's the first runs of the morning. Viswanath looking for two, but they decide against it, and wisely so, although the return was not a good one. So Viswanath equal top score now on 49. Gavaskar previously had scored 49, and the total 3 for 191. Cannon to Viswanath. That's his 50. One, possibly two in this shot. There's Viswanath completing his second run to bring him 51 runs, and the end of a very fine half-century. It was a wrong one that he cut, and it's through. There'll be 2 or 3 in it. Being chased by Gannon, and Viswanath coming back for 2. And that's a good throw by Gannon, a very strong throw from in front of the ladies' stand. 2 more to Viswanath, takes him on to 53 from his favourite cut shot, and the total 3 for 196. That's a beautiful shot, a cover drive, top class. 4 runs all the way. And that's the 200 up for India, 3 for 200, and Viswanath moves on to 57. What a beautiful shot. Oh, that was uppish, but safe. Another 4, he really clobbered that one. Gannon bowling to Vensaka. That's a beautiful shot from Vensaka off the back foot, being chased by Ogilvie. Vensaka looking for 3, and he'll get it 2 quite comfortably. Good shot. So Vensaka moves on to 27, and the total 3 for 207. Gannon bowling to Vensaka. Could be a run out on here. Oh, and a bad throw from Mann it was, filling the covers, but no one there behind the stumps. So that was not good fielding by the Australians. And that's a good shot, beautiful shot. That's 4 runs. Viswanath down the wicket and timing it sweetly through the extra cover area. And he moves on to 67 from that beautiful shot.
That 4 brought up the 100 partnership.
Oh, it wasn't a chance. Simpson didn't get a hand to it, but it'll be 4 runs. That ball moving back again and lifting just a fraction. Simpson just a little bit late at the leg slip position.
Just a little bit too wide too, because that ball travels very finely indeed. Notice how fine the deflection is, and Simpson was just a little bit too late. The ball just too wide on his right hand.
With a comfortable single to Viswanath, with Clark doing the fielding. He's now 77 in a very good innings indeed, and the total moves on to 3 for 230.
Being an in-swing bowler, probably the wiser measure for Simpson to take would be to bowl him from the Pennington end, from the end at which Cozy is bowling now.
Call for LBW, not out, says umpire Baylash. Just a little high, I would think, and the batsman playing forward.
Yes, Vensaka, a tall man, and half forward. The ball just nipping off the wicket, surprising him slightly, coming back in, and as you said, Jimmy Burke, just going a little bit too high, I would say, and possibly just over the top of the stumps.
Indians have added exactly 40 runs this morning. They were 3 for 190 overnight, now 3 for 230. That was well tossed up. Looked like he's a slower wrong un.
I think Viswanath hit that into the ground.
Take a single this time with Thompson, the fieldsman, at mid-off. Viswanath now 78, and that's the 100 lead to India. 3 for 231 with 7 wickets in hand.
So over number 67 becomes over number 1, and this must rate as a pretty critical time for Australia. They must do something with this new ball to stay in the game. Here's Kozia.
Just looking at the pitch and the weather, and I would think that this wicket will be much slower than it was yesterday, because it is very lively, having sweated a little under the cover and the rain which was sitting on the covers, and gave quite a bit of life. And Thompson bowled beautifully yesterday, as good as I've seen him bowl for a long, long time, and bowled very fast. But I would imagine that just looking at the pitch out there and the sunny conditions here at the ground now, I think this wicket will be a little on the slow side for Tomo.
Well, that one was slow and low. That came and was almost bouncing third time to the keeper.
Watch how low it... remember, this is the new ball, too, that usually flies, but have a look how low Rickson takes it.
And a good one from Thompson. That was a real express ball.
Well, you've got to admire Thompson. What's this? It's a beautiful ball. It just, again, misses the odd off stump. Oof, just almost took the top of the off bail, and that was a beautiful delivery.
And misfield gives them a chance of probably 2 here. It's Gannon. Fine shot, beautiful shot in fact. Vensaka played that very well. They're not even running. The ball's slowing down a lot. Now they should start running here. That's the ball will just make it. But Vensaka gets 4 for that. He goes on to 41. Bowled in, beautiful ball, magnificent ball, and the stumps went flying. There's only one left.
That's interesting, that one. 2 stumps went, but he seemed to be a very well pitched up, and as I saw it, Vishwanath seemed to have it properly well and truly covered. Let's see, it goes, I think it's pretty well up this one. He seems to have it covered. Yeah, well up. Yeah, just played inside it, and over 1-2 went the Skittles. Look at it.
So Vishwanath was bowled by Thompson for 79. Vensaka not out 43. India 4 for 241. Thompson has 2 for 53. Next batsman is Mankat, and here's the applause for the tiny man of the Indian team, Vishwanath, going out 79. And that stand took the score from 116 to 241, which is 125. I think 125 stand between the two. Well, that's a vital breakthrough for Australia. And Thompson to Mankat. And there was a swish.
Well, did we say they leave them go outside the off stump? This is almost over the off stump, almost over the off stump he tries to cut. He backs away a little. Yeah, just outside the off stump and went flying above the top of the outstretched bat.
And that's 3 Kozia out towards the mid-wicket area. There'll be a long chase here for Clark. They turn for 3, and they'll make 3 comfortably. Vensaka 46. And that's a good-looking shot. That's getting right out towards the fence, and no need to chase that. He was right on top of that one, and Mankat now goes on to 12. It's 4 for 256.
Well, I had a slight lapse of memory. I remember distinctly talking about Mankad, the batsman, who plays so well on the offside. It wasn't until he played that shot then it all came back to me. That's right. We mentioned how some of the other English batsmen favour the onside. This man is a beautiful player on the offside.
And that's over the top of the man in the gully. It's going down towards the fence. And Sargent, let's see if he can get this. And no for more. And bowled in. Played on. Thompson has struck again, and Mankad bowled Thompson for 16. 5 for 261. Vensaka not out 47. Thompson 3 for 60.
Well, not one of Thomas' better balls, but as we said earlier, he deserves all the luck he can get. It's well outside the off stump, and a wild swish it looked at by Mankad, sticks it on and takes a leg stump. It's well up to the Mankad, but it's a real wild woof. Doesn't get over the ball, and over goes that leg stump. That makes 2 in a row. He's knocked out the ground, virtually 3 in a row.
Thompson to Kamani. Well, that's an edge, but it must have got the bottom of the bat to behave like that.
That's it. He got it right at the toe of the bat, and it only got about stump high, and I think he did well to even get the bat on it. He watch it doesn't skids rather low, this one. And it gets right at the bottom of the toe of the bat, it goes straight down, and goes to Rickson's.
Well, when a player has to jump and crouch like that, that shows it's a very fast ball.
That was not only fast, but that also kept a little on the low side. And when you got one from Thompson flying and one keeping low, like that, it makes life rather hectic for the batsman.
Cozier has bowled a couple of overs yesterday. He has none for 8. Bowls to Vensaka. An appeal for caught behind, and he's out. Yes, there was a definite deflection there. Vensaka caught Rickson, bowled Cozier for 48. It's 6 for 263. Cozier 1 for 8. And a nice looking shot. There'll be probably 2 here as Ogilvie goes after it. And Kamani's dropped his bat, left his bat down at this end. Of course, he can run without the bat. There's no problem there. Just a matter of retrieving here by his fellow batsman. So Gavri 2, Kamani 1, 6 for 263. And away it goes down to the fine leg boundary. There's no one there. The fieldsman can follow that. In fact, they all can, because that's lunch. At lunch at 6 for 269 with Gavri on 6, Kamani on 1. India leads at lunch by 138 with 4 wickets in hand.
And it's Thompson to resume the attack, bowling the first over after lunch, and he'll be bowling to Kamani. It's a good shot from Kamani. He didn't quite time it, however. Coming back for his second run with Ogilvie, the fieldsman, and looking for 3. And they'll get it quite comfortably. That's a good return, too, from Ogilvie. Thompson bowling to Gavri. And that's run. It should be 4. It's really skimming away into the fence. There for 4 between Gully and Slip. That's a nice shot from Gavri. Be 2 or 3 in this. Being chased by Clark and Mann, but Clark gets there first as the batsmen go back for 3. And Clark bowls it in up to the non-striker's end. There's 3 to Gavri, takes him on to 17, and the total 6 for 291. This partnership has now yielded 28 runs. It's a very valuable one for India.
Just reverting to that follow through of Gannon's, he really has to bowl pretty wide on the crease. If he came much closer to the stumps, he'd run right down the centre.
That's a square slash into the fence for 4. Well played by Kamani in front of the ladies' stand. So Kamani now moves on to 15, and the total 6 for 295. That's a good shot by Kamani. Taken 1. They'll be looking for 2 as Ogilvie does the fielding. and they get it quite comfortably. What a beautiful throw by Ogilvy from fine leg. Very good fieldsman, this fellow. So Kamani now 17, and the total 6 for 297. Gannon again to Kamani. More runs, possibly 2, as Ogilvy's flying up from fine leg, but doesn't quite get it cleanly. But in any case, Kamani would have been quite comfortably home. Man to Kamani. Wrongen. Could be 2 in this. Ogilvy the fieldsman. Kamani coming back for a comfortable 2. And that's the 300 up for India, 6 for 301.
Wasn't it interesting to see Kamani pick that Wrongen from man? But then again, as a wicketkeeper, one would expect him to be pretty much aware of what type of balls are being delivered, because wicketkeepers generally try to pick the slow bowlers and try and pick the Wrongen from the leg spinner.
Could be out caught. Dropped at mid-off by Simpson. Straight to him. And Simpson puts down his second catch.
Here's that drive from Kamani, dancing down the wicket to a man Wrongen, I think. Hitting it in the air and straight to Simpson there, and bang again. Simpson failed to allow his hands to give, pushed the ball out.
And with the next delivery, Kamani took 2 from a sweep behind square leg and moves on to 23. Man to resume the attack. He'll be bowling to Kamani. And Kamani down the wicket, and that's a beautiful shot. Straight into the fence for 4 in front of the Sheridan stand. Dancing down the wicket, picking the ball beautifully and timing it extremely well. And he moves on to 28, and the total 6 for 309. And that's the 50 partnership between these two. There's could be 3 in this quite easily. Being chased by Ogilvy. Scarberry goes back for his 3rd run. It's hit uppish lee, but safe. It's wide of Gannon. That'll be 4. Garvey now 28, and the total 6 for 322. Tossed up again, and once more hit high down to the fence. They actually hit the fence on the first bounce. That was a very good hit by Gavri. This takes him very quickly now on to 32, and the total 6 for 326.
This partnership is now worth 63. An invaluable 7th wicket partnership, this. Mid-on being dropped slightly deeper.
That's another good shot through the covers with 2 or 3 in it. Ogilvy the fieldsman. 2 only to Gavri. And look at that throw again from Ogilvy. He's shown us some superb returns today. So Gavri now 34, and the total 6 for 328.
We're just getting up to the end of the first hour after lunch with the drink waiters, the 12th men just waiting to come out on the field.
The man tossing it up even higher to try and tempt Gavri to hit. One more takes him on to 35, and the total 6 for 329.
That's 60 runs have come in the hour since lunch. That's in spite of Thompson's efforts.
Man bowling to Kamani. Another single. Very expensive over this one. And Kamani now 32, and the total 6 for 330. Man bowling to Gavri. More runs.
That's the 200 lead.
Now Simpson. And out it goes through mid-wicket, and Simpson is greeted with a 4, I'd say. The fieldsman can't make it. And just wide of the fieldsman. take a couple. And Tomo gives away another run there. He must be pretty tired out there, and that's 3 more. And Gabri goes on to 39, and it's 6 for 339. Now that one was no contact, but just wide of the lone slip fieldsman who was up there pretty close. That's Hughes. Oh, good shot. He played that very well indeed. Man getting that just inside the fence, and they take 3. And that's bowled him. Oh! So Cozier has broken through. Kamani bowled Cozier 42. Gabri not out 39, 7 for 344. And Cozier 2 for 16.
That's a little faster. Good bowling by Cozier, I might add, because he pushed that ball through quite a little faster. Watch this, he gets a little whiff into this. Kamani tries to hit it off hard off the back foot. It skids through. Hits his pad. He would have been out leg before anyhow, but it's good bowling by Cozier.
And through the covers, good shot. And that's slowing down a bit. Now Cozier may just make this. They've taken 2 and turning for 3.
Oh.
And down to backward square. There's no fieldsman within 70 or 80 metres of that, and Cozier has no hope at all. It was that's wearing Cozier out. He's chased round about 50 metres one way, then about 70 metres back the other. And that's 4 to Prasanna. And that's the 350 up for India. 7 for 351. A lead now of 220. And we recall that India's winning margin in Melbourne was 222. And back to fine leg again. Well, where's poor Cozier? This time he gave that one up. He's leaving that to Thompson. And now an offside shot. That could be 4 again. Well, Prasanna doing exactly the right team for his team. He's hit 3 good 4s in this over, and he goes on to 12. It's 7 for 359. And that's down to fine leg. Well, with an ace of being a catch, and the fieldsman has kicked it along the boundary, kicked it into the fence. Clark kicked it right along, and he almost stopped it, but 4 more. And once again, just that little bit of luck running against the Australians. It takes Gabri up to his first Test 50, who's 53.
He could be a run out on here, but he's safely home. It's a good fielding again by the Australians. Gannon at the backward point, who's fielded very, very well today, the Australian team. Thompson to Gabri. He's out, caught. Gabri caught. At the bowling of Thompson for 64, India 8 for 395, and Thompson 4 for 82.
And who was that in the gully who caught?
I think it might have been Sargent. Yes, Sargent.
Yes, it was, yes. You just saw Thompson slap Sargent on the shoulder.
Prasanna not out 25, Beatty not out 1. India have closed at 8 for 396, a lead of 265. So it's Gabri to bowl the first ball of Australia's second innings to Cozier. Cozier immediately off the mark. Australia no wicket for 1. It's a long haul for the Australians now. Gabri bowling to Dyson. That's a beautiful shot by Dyson, straight drive. Beautifully timed, but will have reached the fence. There's a nice shot indeed. Dyson off the mark with that splendid straight drive. And Australia no wicket for 5. That's a nice shot from Cozier, an off drive. That should be 4. And lovely shot from Cozier. So he moves up to 5, and the total no wicket for 12. Garvey bowling again to Cozier. That's another good shot from the back foot. Madden might reach this one. Batsman coming back for 2. Madden gets to it, and it's 2 only. Well, Madden very fast in the field, of course.
Cozier doing a Bisham Beatty.
Appeal for leg before, not out. That was a reasonably confident appeal there by all the fieldsmen. In fact, Garvey is still appealing.
Well, there's a left-handed bowler bowling around the wicket. You be the judge. You sitting at home. What's this? Well, good delivery.
And he's caught and bowled. Dyson has out caught and bowled by Chandra for 6. Australia 1 for 26, and Chandra has done it again, 1 for 2.
And you notice the ball goes to Chandra's left hand, which he did in Melbourne. He took a catch, and that's his better hand because these right-handers with it. I don't know if you realise that, but luckily enough it goes to his right hand, which is very mobile. See it going. He grabs it by the right hand and covers it up with the right one, and that's twice that Dyson. He does not play spin well. We've mentioned that so often.
Well, Dyson out, and that's a sad blow for Australia. And we see that Kim Hughes is listed to come in at number 3 for Australia. So Hughes, a change in the batting order, repeating the news of Tui that he's undergoing physiotherapy treatment. He's not taking any part in the match today, but with treatment tomorrow on the rest day, he should be available to bat on Wednesday. But Kim Hughes coming in now in a very critical stage at just after 5:30 local time. In Australia, 1 wicket down for 26. Well, Hughes played a good shot. And that's getting out towards the fence, and Amarnath will not reach it. 40 Hughes, his first scoring stroke, and it's 1 for 37.
No.
Off the pad. Well, the reaction from the crowd there, and it looked very, very close to the bat there.
Looked almost a catch from here, didn't it, the way he played it? Ooh, and very close. And
oh, Weil, full toss, has got it away. Yes, that slipped out of his hand. It won't be 4. Madden fielding, and they take 3. And there's a beautiful throw. Cozier not out 23, Hughes not out 7. There are 4 sundries. Australia 1 for 40. So at the end of the 3rd day's play, Australia still a long, long way behind.